stuff. So from The Athletic, here to decipher some of it. And I believe one of his final appearances with us in this season. Our people and his people are, as they have for months, it's tough every year, but working out some sort of deal. Hopefully we can re-sign him for next year. He's expensive. You know that. Sam's a big name, but he joins us right now. Good morning, Sam.
Good morning, gentlemen. Your commentary is comedic, Dave, because, not to do business on the air, but this might be the last visit of the season. I don't think I've shared that with you, but I'm definitely getting my time off starting next week, so it is coming quick, my friend.
What?
Yeah.
I thought aren't you going to Summer League? No?
Yeah, I'm actually there now. So I got in a little bit early. Yeah, I'm here now.
Okay.
But by the time next week arrives, we will be saying hello to the off season, even if Mr. Durant and Mr. Irving have not found new teams. So
good for you.
Good for you, Sam.
Yeah.
So this is it. This is our final visit until next season if we're able to re-sign you to a new contract.
Well, unless I'm, breaking some sort of agreement we have, then I'll be calling you from wherever the hell I am. But we're here, and more importantly, in the here and the now. Do I remember you saying that? Are you going to Vegas or no?
Yes, I'll be there. Jason's getting there tomorrow. I will join. I'll be there Sunday through Wednesday of next week.
Got you. Okay, I will miss you, Dave, but that's preferable, and I can't wait to see you, Jason.
Wait, when are you coming back?
Probably Sunday or Monday. If it's Monday, I'll catch you for a night, but I haven't decided yet. It's Sunday or Monday.
Make it Monday. Let's go ahead. Let's go eat some barbecue Sunday night, dude. Come on.
There you go. I like it.
What's going on? Where's Kevin Durant getting traded to? Break that right now.
Yeah, it might as well end with a bang.
You're the Durant whisperer, you know.
The Vancouver Grizzlies are really good place to get him. I think it's going to take a while, and even getting out here to Vegas and talking to people, you kind of get reminded that, that the Nets have, no actual reason to do something right now, and that their understandable asking price for him as a guy who's, one of the best to ever do it is so high that they are, they've essentially got, the suitors kind of out on a scavenger hunt to go collect as many picks, and really the picks don't matter that much, but, go find as many all-stars as you can. And if you can't meet that threshold, then they're not going to do the deal right now. So it's wild because it's obviously holding up the off season, when it comes to some of the free agents still available, DeAndre Ayton, chief among them. It's a weird offseason because it feels like it's all kind of suspended.
Sam, did you get any clarity on? Why? How did we get here with Durant? It seemed like it was a chosen place for him and Kyrie to go to Brooklyn. They've had some success, not nearly as much as they want, but why does he want out so badly?
I don't have clarity in terms of what percentage of the blame he assigns to the Nets versus Kyrie. But, it is interesting that when Kyrie opted in, we made the mistake of thinking that was some sort of it was going to have a calming effect on the situation. And then Kevin, basically just, proved us wrong, and he's still asked out. So that led me to believe, and you hear some of this, that he was looking at the Kyrie situation and either deciding that even with Kyrie opting in, it's still, all is not well. But beyond that, just being done, and realizing that what they were trying to build out there is not going to come to fruition. And wake of the James Harden move, obviously, that was messy. And then Ben Simmons, we glossed over the Ben Simmons part. It's nothing personal, but I think if you're Kevin, he's looking at that going, all right, he's publicly very understanding of all these different people who have, not been able to play basketball, but it's, I don't blame him for looking around and being frustrated by the landscape.
Does it damage his, listen, Kevin Durant's one of the greatest players to ever play the game and is still, I would say, a top 5 player in the game when healthy, but you're also talking about a guy who hasn't been the healthiest. He's 33 years old. He's going to command, it sounds like, a huge ransom. And he's a guy that seemingly has happy feet, whether it's Golden State and then the Nets debacle. And that's going to possibly set that franchise back quite a bit. Is that going to matter to teams acquiring him, or do we make too much of that, in the media sometimes? And he's Kevin Durant, so they're not going to care.
No, I think they care, and his reputation and his market, if you will, it's not even remotely close to as toxic as it is for Kyrie. Like Kyrie's learned the hard way that it's really one team trying to get him right now.
Yeah.
But Kevin, I think it's like I said, it's not toxic, but it is just kind of it feels like there's a lot of there's a ton of respect coming his way with teams obviously saying, my God, he's just incredible. We would love to have you. But then once the discussion comes about what it would take, some of the concerns that you highlighted, Dave, I think then come into play because the age matters, the injuries matter, the history matters, and the idea that, all right, the good news is we could get him for multiple years because he's early in this contract. But the topic of Kevin Durant's happiness has been, a topic of public discussion for some time now, going back to Oklahoma City, to the Warriors, to the Nets, and then here we are. So it doesn't feel like, there's nobody really naive enough to think that, the next team that Kevin goes to is going to be the one where it really clicks and he's eventually, having his jersey retired there and telling the fans that he wants to be there forever type of thing.
Sam, you brought up Kyrie, too. I mean, the one team you said seemingly is the Lakers. Is that on hold, too, because of Durant, or is it just still trying to figure out what pieces can make it work?
Yeah, I mean, Jay, I don't have total clarity there either. And that would bother me more if I didn't feel like, everybody in the media is in the same boat. But I think that the Lakers, they appear to be pondering, multiple scenarios, and the other one that seems to be in play is with Indiana. But there is a tie-in. So Indiana has the max room to go out and sign DeAndre Ayton as a restricted free agent, and they have, they have interest in him. But the Lakers, so that's kind of tangential to the Kyrie discussion, but the Lakers also in the past have been tied to Buddy Hield, and then Miles Turner is a guy that would certainly help them a lot defensively. And so it seems like the Lakers are chewing on all that stuff. But more importantly, in terms of holdups, it's just the idea that the Nets are not, really incentivized to take Russell Westbrook onto their team. Even if you get 2 first-round picks, the Nets want to win. Because they don't have control of the draft, because mainly of everything they gave up in the James Harden trade, to get Ben Simmons, and actually going back to the Houston trade for James Harden, they need to contend now. So they need really good players, and so Russell Westbrook playing with Ben Simmons would not be ideal, not even close. And so I think the Nets kind of interest level in that Kyrie deal is a problem. Now, that being said, people continue to act like eventually Kyrie will find his way to the Lakers, but we'll see if that ends up being the case.
Oklahoma City has the pieces to get Kevin Durant, don't they? That'd be fun.
They do indeed. Oh yeah, there's a lot of really interesting teams that it's like it kind of stinks that because of I'm not lamenting player empowerment, but the idea that like there's teams that could really be in the mix but are not formally or officially because of the players' lack of interest in playing there. But yeah, the OKC reunion could be an interesting one. And my goodness, Chet Holmgren, looking great early on.
Yeah.
So that could be fun. But Memphis could be in that discussion. Toronto could be in that discussion. But then the fear, of course, is just where is Kevin's head at when he gets there?
Sam, how about the Kings? The totality of their offseason, whether that's adding Mike Brown as the head coach. We know about obviously drafting Keegan Murray, Malik Monk, Kevin Huerter. What do you think of what Sacramento and Monty McNair has done this offseason?
So I wrote it a few days ago, and I meant it, where I keep telling people that I'm much more excited to watch this team just from a basketball standpoint than I was the last team. If you're just talking about putting butts in the seats and getting people to tune in because, they think their team might have a chance, or in my case, you think that you just might watch a competitive game. And I mean, selfishly, it's not that important. But when I go to so many Kings games like I do, I don't mind admitting, like it does get boring when, a lot of nights at the yard, so to speak, when there's just not a competitiveness to the game. So all of which is to say, I like their moves from that standpoint. I think they're going to be, competitive and fun. But as much fun as people had with that one video of the Kings fan screaming, 40 wins.
Yeah.
Like there is an undercurrent here that feels like, that might be a little too true because the West is so brutal. And, so I like what they did. Dave and I have talked offline about this. Like, you've got two layers to the discussion. If you want to have a discussion about how they went, down this road that they never should have gone down in terms of, the types of players they took on and where they decided the ceiling, like the acceptable ceiling was, then sure, you can have that talk, but they've been down that road for a while. And then, Vivek is the one who chose to also kind of, and the front office, to their credit, is not saying anything about this. They don't talk privately about this. There's no complaining, but they have no contract beyond next season.
Yeah.
And so whenever you do that, inevitably you are going to create an environment where they want to win now, and especially when they haven't been in the playoffs for this long. So it's a really long answer to your question. I like their offseason. I think it's going to be very hard because the West, with Minnesota getting better and then teams like that, the Lakers, if they get Kyrie, the West is going to be really, really tough.
Well, and people making fun of those guys for saying, we're going to get 40 wins. The last time the Sacramento Kings won 40, Rick Alderman led Brad Miller and friends to a 44-38 record in the 2005-2006 season, about, 18 years ago, 17 years ago. So I'll take 40. That's where we're at, dude.
My first year on the beat, man. That's my first year on the beat.
That's right.
And you're right. The other flashback I had when people mentioned that is, I remember Reggie Theus, years after he was gone from Sacramento, kind of, I connected with him at one point, and he's basically saying like, hey, my 38 wins looks pretty good in hindsight, huh?
Yep. Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, 40 would be nothing to sneeze at, but it's, they're going to need 43, 44 to get in the playoffs. So we'll see, if not more.
Well, it's going to be a long off season without Sam, Amick.
Yeah, it is.
Barring breaking news or whatever. Maybe we'll see you Sunday night. Maybe we won't. Don't know. But in the meantime, take care of that lovely family of yours. Hopefully you've got some good vacation plans, and we appreciate you visiting with us each and every week during the year, and I'm sure we'll work something out and bring you on back sometimes towards the end of September, buddy.
I sure hope so, guys. You're always really tough in the boardroom, so we'll get something done.
Yes.
By the way, was your final interview with us today? Are you horizontal right now? Be honest. Yeah, you are. You stifled like 3 yawns, bro.
You got me awake in Vegas. I did not go to bed early.
That is a good point. We had a feeling. We were talking during. We were having a little off-air conversation as to if Sam was doing some extra work down there in Vegas, which of course you are.
I know we got to go, but I literally was having a few beverages with colleagues last night, and we don't need to talk about what time it was.
Sure.
And I had this moment where the light bulb went off, and I love you guys dearly, so don't take this the wrong way. I literally was just like, it's tomorrow Thursday.
But we're the one place where you can come on and have a couple stifled yawns and be lying in you. It's fine. We're relaxed like that. It's like family.
We got more sleeping to do. I'm going back to bed right now.
All right, buddy.
Nice.
Well, I'll maybe see you Sunday. Jason will see you tomorrow. Have fun down there.
All right, guys. Appreciate you.
See you. Take care. That's maybe. A lot of stuff to gather there.